The JR Pass is changing. The JR Pass, Japan's ultimate tourist pass that provides unlimited train use, is undergoing some major changes, and not in a good way. Just last week, JR dropped the news that all Japan Rail Pass options will be getting a 65% price hike. That's a pretty drastic change, especially when you take into consideration JR hasn't even confirmed if there will be any additional perks that will come with the massive price hike. So the obvious question on everyone's mind is, will the JR Pass even be worth it anymore? Well, don't worry, because today we're going to cover the details of this vague announcement, determine if the pass is still worth it for you, and finally what other options there are if you find the JR Pass just isn't worth it anymore. Alright, let's get this started and address all this JR drama. So let's start off by getting into the exact details of this announcement and determine why this might be happening, and see if there's any good coming from this massive change. Last week, JR made the announcement that prices for all options of the JR Pass will jump at least 65% higher than what they are now. But there's no need to worry right now, because while this announcement was made this past Friday, the changes aren't expected to take effect until sometime in October. And unfortunately, that's the only solid piece of information we have from the company so far. However, there is some speculation that the price increase will come with some benefits, like discounts to certain tourist attractions and even access to the Nozomi and Mizuho bullet trains, Japan's fastest bullet train services that are currently unavailable to JR Pass holders. However, this is not confirmed yet, so we're just gonna have to wait for further updates that will inevitably come from the company in the coming months. Although it isn't crystal clear why these drastic price increases are coming so suddenly, I think I might have an idea why. As I have mentioned in previous videos, inflation, the weak yen, and certain events happening over in Europe have put a massive strain on Japan's energy situation. As a result, prices all over Japan have been skyrocketing, and there is no sign of it stopping anytime soon. In fact, there have already been price hikes on normal trains and metro lines. And with all of this happening, I would not be surprised if I saw Shinkansen tickets in general go up as well in the near future. And of course, if this does happen, or there are any other major updates to the JR Pass situation, you'll be sure to hear from me as soon as the news drops. Let me know in the comments below why you think the prices are going up so suddenly. Now that we have covered the details of the JR Pass price hike and why it might be happening, let's find out if that pass will still be worth it for you. So let's assume the worst, and nothing changes about the pass except the considerable price increase. Will this pass still be worth it for you? Well, to figure that out, we need to dive into the prices of how much Shinkansen tickets are now, and how much traveling you would need to do to get your money's worth. As of April 2023, a one-way Shinkansen ticket from Tokyo to Kyoto Station is around 13,000 yen. And if you make it a round-trip ticket, it'll double in price, costing you 26,000 yen. That means the current 7-day pass would almost pay for itself just by getting a round-trip ticket from Tokyo to Kyoto. However, with the projected price increase to 50,000 yen in October, you're gonna have to travel a little bit more to get your money's worth. For example, with the new 7-day JR Pass price, one way you could get your money's worth from this pass could be starting in Tokyo, traveling to Kyoto, taking another Shinkansen to Hiroshima, and then taking a return train all the way back to Tokyo. If you add all of that together, it would cost you about 45,000 yen, which would almost cover the new 7-day JR Pass price. And that's not including if you use your pass on local JR trains as well. Another option could be taking a Shinkansen all the way up to Sapporo, as a round trip between Tokyo and Hokkaido would easily cover the cost of that JR Pass. So after looking at a couple examples, will the JR Pass still be worth it? And the short answer is yes, it will still be worth it, as long as you travel to multiple cities while you're visiting Japan. And ultimately, this will mean you have to carefully consider where you're traveling in Japan to make sure you get your money's worth out of that new pass price. But like I said earlier, this is assuming that no other perks are added to this new price hike, or that Shinkansen prices will not increase in the next few months either, which I wouldn't be surprised if Shinkansen prices increased as well, like I mentioned earlier. But either way, I'll keep you posted on any major updates. And lastly, you might be asking yourself what other options there might be if the JR Pass is not worth it to me anymore. And that answer is simple. Use a regional pass instead. There are dozens of region passes that can still be super valuable to tourists, especially if you're only visiting specific regions of Japan. For example, there is the JR East Tohoku Pass, which allows unlimited Shinkansen use around the central and northern regions of mainland Japan for up to 5 days. Or you can get the East-South Hokkaido Rail Pass for 27,000 yen. While it might seem pricey at first, this pass offers unlimited Shinkansen use from Tokyo all the way to Sapporo for only the price of a regular one-way Shinkansen ticket. In fact, these passes are such good deals, most of them are still only available to tourists. And these are only a couple of the dozens of region passes to choose from. So while the old reliable JR Pass might be getting expensive, you can still travel in Japan for cheap if you look in the right places. I've included the links to all the JR companies below so you can check out these passes for yourself. Like this video if you found it useful. Check out my affiliate links below when you plan your trip to Japan if you want to help support the channel, which would be greatly appreciated, by the way. And subscribe for everything you need to know about Japan. Well, that's it, and until next time, I'll see you then.